we move on to react to Gregg Berhalter. He has been fired after the Copa America failure, in which they failed to get out of a group that comprised of Uruguay, Bolivia, and Panama. After the major downfall to this team is when they lost to Panama after going down a man early. They lost to them 2-1. They also went on to lose to Uruguay in the finale group stage game, which sees them get eliminated in the group stages of the Copa America. And that was the final straw for Gregg Berhalter, as the people finally rise, and it's over for him. He has been fired, and I have to say it's absolutely deserved. It's absolutely deserved. He didn't deserve to keep the job after the World Cup last campaign, and it was a farce that he ended up getting the job back again. And if he was able to retain his job despite what happened, despite their poor performance at this Copa America, it would have been an absolute disgrace. So I think it's but it's time. It really is. It's time. He's been a farce. It's been a joke. There has been no sort of progression since he was rehired post the 2022 World Cup. At the same time, there's what's the word? There's been a thought amongst us US soccer fans that even before that he really was out of depth. There's been a lot of us that's been calling for his head since 2019-20. Like that's how little we think of him in terms of his tactical in-game flexibility, his squad selections, especially earlier on. Oh my goodness, his squad selection, his tactical flexibility in-game to adjust. It's time. Look, there has been no performance, no result that we look at and was like, this is the coming out party for Gregg Berhalter. Yes, beating Mexico is nice, but it is the worst Mexican national team that I have ever seen in my lifetime. And besides that, he has not accomplished anything in terms of winning a game that we're not supposed to win. Everything else that he's done has been expected. It's been expected. And beating Mexico at this stage, day and age where Mexico is right now is also expected. There has been no sort of signature win, or whatever you want to call it, signature win or next step, or, coming out of the closet moment. There's none of that. It's all been straight putrid, lackluster performances in huge games. You look at what we did in the 2022 World Cup, drawing against Wales. Yes, a good result in getting a point against England, and then squeaking past Iran just to lose to the first decent team we played in the knockout stages. This Copa America, beating Bolivia, yes. Okay, look, you put your hand down, the 10-man red card, all that, big issue with Panama. Okay, but then, a good real test for Berhalter in this Uruguay game, and we fail again. Against Colombia, we failed. We played Germany in a friendly game, a Germany team that has been reeling up to that point. Yes, they turned it on later on, but at that point in age, they were a reeling national team, and they ended up beating us. They came here and beat us after struggling and not beating Mexico. Germany did. It's in that same window. He has not been good enough. He has not been a good enough manager. His The way he didn't play Giovanni Reina in Wales. I can go on and on and on with the mistakes that he's made. Ricardo Pepi saved his job in the 2022 World Cup qualifying campaign, and he went on to not even bring him onto the squad later on, forgetting the fact that and then ended up playing Jesus Corona, or not Jesus Corona, but I'm forgetting his name, Jesus Ferreira, in that game against the Netherlands, where he was an absolute disgrace in the first half. And then he brought on Giovanni Reina in the second half as a false nine, and playing him in a position that he hasn't played at all ever for the USMNT setup. It's just some of the choices that this guy has made. He's tactically inept. There is no style of play that we see from game in, game out, that we see as a philosophy, like this is the way we want to play. We hear a lot of talk from Gregg Berhalter. Oh, we want to do this. Oh, we want to do that. Oh, we want to do this. But I never saw a style of play that was kind of the identity of this team. We had no real identity at all. We had players that performed worse for the U.S. compared to what they did for their clubs. We had multiple players we did not perform to the level. In terms of World Cup qualifying, it was the same as previous. We take care of the games that we needed to take care of at home, and then we go on the road and we look completely woeful. He didn't create a team of mentally tough players. Yes, sometimes it's you're either born or not born with mental toughness, but there is a way that you can adopt that amongst a team. And in terms of having that gritty mentality, and this team did not have it under Gregg Berhalter. It did not. He was not good enough. There's no two ways about it. He was not good enough. He wasn't a manager that made us better than the sum of their parts, like other brilliant managers did. And he also had a sense of pragmatism at certain times too. We had an opportunity against England, a set-piece opportunity to find at the end to win the game, to put in a ball in the box, and he decides, let's just go and kick it into the corner and run out the clock in a game that was 0-0 in a tournament that we only had 1 point in up to that point. For me, it's just ridiculous. It really is. It's ridiculous how he kept his job to this point. Matt Crocker, Cindy Parlow, think the people that made the decision to retain him have a price to pay in this as well. They should not be free of consequences. I saw Matt Crocker's comments regarding the situation, but he has a price to pay because he came in to take the U.S. men's national team to the next level, and all he's done and came in is keep us at the same level or made us even worse, honestly. Matt Crocker did come out with a statement saying, I want to thank Gregg for his hard work and dedication to U.S. soccer and our men's national team. No, that was Sydney Cohn, actually. Sydney Cohn came out and said that. She also said, we are now focused on working with our sporting director, Matt Crocker, and leveraging his experience at the highest levels of the sport to ensure we find the right person to lead the USMNT into a new era of on-field success. The highest level of sports, according to her. Is Southampton the highest level of sport? Southampton? Really? Is that the highest level of sport? This is a club that never played Champions League football whenever it was under Matt Crocker. This is a club that consistently finished within the bottom 10. They're in that range. In fact, they were relegated. I don't know if that was under Matt Crocker, but this is not some team that's, at the top of the world amongst the club football scene, so I don't understand that. But Gregg Berhalter, he also came out with a statement saying, the Copa America result is extremely disappointing, and I take full responsibility for our performance. Our approach and process was always focused on the 2026 World Cup, and I remain confident that the group will be one of the great stories in 2026. Matt Crocker, he will be the lead of the search for Berhalter's replacement, and he has already started the process, actually. He came out saying the U.S. soccer is committed to doing what is necessary to ensure our success on the pitch, and we are dedicated to fostering a culture that leads to winning. Our immediate focus on finding a coach who can maximize our potential as we continue to prepare for the 2026 World Cup, and we have already begun our search process. Man, yeah, whether or not I have faith in Matt Cracker to get it done, no, um, but this could be an easy decision depending on, whether or not certain managers are willing to take it on. Are they? No. But look, I'm going to make it rather simple for y'all. Absolute dream hire will be Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp. Was that possible? Probably not. That would be the absolute dream. Now, if you're looking from an MLS perspective, think Wilfred Nancy. That would be a very, very good hire. I think Jim Curtin could also be a decent hire as well, from with an MLS perspective, or an American perspective. If you want a dream hire that's actually like realistic that we could go out and get, Hervé Renard. Right now, I believe he's the coach of the French women's national team, which is. But this is a Hervé Renard that won a AFCON with Angola, not with Angola, with Zambia, and he's done more with less, and he has this high pressing sort of system that's been successful at major international tournaments. So they have options. They do have options, but let's be real. Jurgen Klopp is not possible, but the rest, I think this team does have some legitimate options.